News channel after news channel after news channel. Ever wonder why they report the same news? This is Wake Up America.
Brought to you by Citizen Stringer.
The media has become absolute lunacy. What makes us different? We just tell the truth. Daily headlines, politics, social issues, focusing on headlines that the mainstream media ignores. Conservative to the core and honest, sometimes to a fault. Unapologetically American. Welcome to Wake Up America with your host, Stephen Oatley.
Hi. How you guys doing? My name is Steve. Today's show is called Wake Up America Friday edition. Actually, we have a huge show today. I'm going to rant for a few minutes. And then at 9:15 Eastern Time, Adam and Lauren are going to come on and they're going to give us a live report from their secret special location, which I'm not going to tell you yet. And then at 9:30, we're going to have BXBullet on the show, which is exciting as well. She's a Twitch streamer. I'm trying to talk her into doing a show here on our network as well. She's going to be on at 9:30. We're going to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial at that point. She's a self-defense expert. She's a licensed bodyguard, a bunch of other stuff. I'll let her do her introduction. And then we'll go for it. As always, this show is sponsored by Spartan Armor Systems. If you don't know who they are, well, who are you? Spartan Armor Systems is probably the best body armor company, Arizona-based company. They've actually outfitted Adam and Lauren with body armor for the trip down to the border where they are. I just gave it away. They are at the Rio Grande Valley, I believe. That we'll let him say it. You guys may have seen, I posted a photo on my Twitter page that they captured. And I tell you what, it just rocked me. It showed two little kids, crossing border with garbage strewn all over the place. Anyway, Spartan Armor Systems is the sponsor for this show. If you don't know who they are, visit SpartanArmorSystems.com. They sell some of the best body armor you could ever imagine. In addition, if you use code YEET, that's YEET, you get 10% off your order. It adds up. 10% off a $300 tactical set or $500 tactical set with 4 plates. It adds up. So use that discount. It's good for us. It's good for you. You get a big discount, and we'll go from there. Someone sent something. I don't see what it is, unfortunately. I don't know why I don't see what it is. And I don't know where my overlay is either. Apparently my overlay is missing. And who cares? I'll just do it without an overlay tonight. I'll add one in post. Not really. I don't care. My overlay is actually, it's on. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So let's talk about some of the news stories, okay? Like I said, we're going to have Adam on in about, 10 minutes to give us a live report of what he's seen down by the border. Adam and Lauren, I think, hopefully they get some lights going because I see Adam already. It's dark though, so hopefully he's got some lights going and hopefully he's outside of that vehicle. See, I know he can hear me. That's why I'm saying it. He's probably laughing right now because he's like, "What the hell?" But yeah. What am I going to say? So I want to talk about one thing first before we start. And I for anyone that didn't know, I was on the Pete Santilli show at 8 o'clock today, and I was talking a little bit about this thing that came out of Seattle, Washington today. If you don't know what the end game of Portland, the defund the police movement is, well, I'll tell you what the end results are. In addition to all the high crime and everything, there's a new article that came out. Oh, no. Did I close the article? I did. I mean, I read it so I could find Jason Rantz, actually. He posted this online earlier today. Apparently a 13-year-old boy called 911 because his dad was having trouble breathing. This is a hard story, guys, and it ticks me off. He called saying that his dad was having trouble breathing. The 911 dispatcher punched in the address, realized there's a flag on that address for prior. I guess it had a flag basically saying police needed to go first because someone at that address previously targeted fire in EMS and police. So they got the 911 call. They dispatched him out. They ended up waiting a long time for police to come. So long that the firefighters made the decision after waiting about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, staged outside the residence to finally go in after the 13-year-old called 911 again, saying his dad was dying. And then the 911 operator was asking if he saw a rise and fall of the chest. The child said barely. The fire department finally just said, screw it. They took the gamble. They ran inside, and the father died in front of the kid. And here's the scary part about this. If that's not scary in itself, the address that was flagged, it wasn't the previous. They didn't live there. It was a previous tenant that made these threats. There was nothing wrong with the parents there and the address. The police never showed up. The police showed up after the fact. The firefighters went in. And here's the thing. It's not really the police officers' fault because of this defund movement, because of these COVID mandates that were imposed. The Seattle Police Department doesn't have enough officers to actually work a full shift. So by the time they were dispatched out to call, which was about 7 minutes after the first 911 call, the police officers answered the call and then dispatched out there. And by 13 minutes after the first 911 call, police were still not there, and the firefighters made the decision to go in, and it was unsuccessful, and the 13-year-old child watched his dad die in front of him. Now, you may say, well, that's an isolated incident. Actually, it's not. It happens all the time, and it's probably going to happen tonight in Seattle, Washington, because, again, Seattle police had to do a mandatory second to third shift holdover because they don't have enough officers to cover the third shift. That's according to Jason Rantz on Twitter today. This is going on, and this is the side effects of this defund the police, this attack the police, reality that we live in now, where some of these police departments are understaffed. The Seattle Police Department and the Seattle mayor and all these people ended up pushing this vaccine mandate on employees, which caused a ton of officers to have to resign, and firefighters as well. And at what cost? This little kid is now without a dad. That's the cost. Is it worth it? Mayor, I think it's Durkin over there in Seattle. Is it worth it? Mayor Durkin? It's disgusting what's going on in this country. And I read that article and I just got so frustrated, man. Randall, thank you, man. Thank you. Misunderstood dude told me to chill and can't we take a break, man? I mean, here's the thing, misunderstand dude on Twitter or Twitch. You're more than welcome to start your own show. Otherwise, it's probably not the best idea, especially not on a Friday night when it's been a long damn night anyway. It's probably not the best idea to start your liberal stuff. No, I'm just kidding. You're a good dude. Yeah, but no, I have to do this show today because there's so many things that are unanswered. A lot of people don't get to watch the show during the day. You're working and all that stuff. So it's very important for me to talk about what's actually going on in this country and just some of the other things. And I'm not just going to be talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial during the show because we do have Adam down at the border. We're going to bring him on in about 10 minutes. And he's down at the Rio Grande Valley right now. And even just some of the videos and some of the pictures that have come out of this we'll let him talk about it. With the system that we're using today, we're using all the high def stuff to bring the images up. So we just got a cell phone connection there, which we'll have here in about a couple of minutes when he finally comes on. But this stuff is crazy. I can't. Oh, he wants me to cut to him now. All right, here, let's go over to Adam right now. He's down at the border right now. This is live. Adam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing, bud? What are you seeing down there?
Take a look. Let me just show you what's behind me real quick here. As you can see, what we've been seeing the same thing all night. We're in Eagle Pass, just on the Rio Grande River, and we've been seeing groups all night long. This is just one of the groups that just has come over right as you started your show.
Wow.
We were kind of waiting for them to come over. We saw the lights coming across the river, and now they're here. This is something that we've been seeing pretty much all night long. It's all day long. Most of the Border Patrol agents, most of DPS that we've spoke to has told us that you just have to sit here. If you sit here for long enough, you will see it. It's everywhere. It's not just right here. It's all up and down the border. And April can pan over right here to the right and show you guys just a group of people that's coming over right now. It's stunning, man.
It looks like we're losing him just for a little bit. We'll wait and see. I'm gonna keep him on, so you're gonna hear his audio. But Adam, April, Lauren, and David are all down at the border. Spartan Armor, I want to give a big shout out to them. They actually supplied body armor for Adam and Lauren, so they would be able to be safe. They've actually been down there for 2 days now. We're gonna have a feature probably next week where we're going to go. But you can see this is live at the border at the Rio Grande. I think they said Eagle Pass.
Venezuela.
From Venezuela.
Gracias.
Wow. This is a live feed. This is live right now in Eagle. Adam, you're in Eagle Pass, Texas, right?
Eagle Pass, that's correct.
Eagle Pass, Texas.
Rio Grande.
In the Rio Grande.
Is about,
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The Rio Grande is about 20 yards to the right.
Okay.
They're coming up out of the Rio Grande now, and you can see they come across the river and they all change clothes. If you take a look at the ground right here in front of us, this is all clothing items, personal items, documents, credit cards, medicine, all of that ditched right here as soon as they come over.
Now, are the lights that we're seeing, is that Border Patrol or police, law enforcement?
That is Border Patrol. That is Border Patrol is here now. There's been a couple groups that have made it over here without Border Patrol catching them right here. However, the area that we are in is heavily presenced by all of law enforcement. They're working with local officials here as well as Border Patrol and Department of Public Safety, which is all part of Operation Lone Star.
Wow.
You can see if April's going to pan right here to the right.
Is he? What's happening here? Why are they running? Stay back, though. Stay back.
It sounded like somebody possibly needed help.
Getting out of the river.
Oh man. So, do you know, April or Adam? Do you know how deep how deep it is there? Oh, they're carrying someone out.
Is she okay? Is she okay? Oh no. Steve, I don't think she's conscious.
There's more people. Oh my gosh,
It's
dude.
very deep. It
It's
is
very
deep
deep
in
there?
areas, but it's shallow
Uh-huh.
in other areas. But the Rio Grande is notorious for its currents,
Right.
and there's no telling what's.
Now, just to be clear, because you're kind of cutting in and out a little bit, in this section, this section, obviously, there's no wall, right? Because you have the river right there. Now,
There's a partial wall.
There
is a partial wall to get to the area that we're at right now. We actually drove through one of the holes with permission to be here.
Okay. Yeah, you
So
kind of broke up a little bit down there, so I wasn't unable to hear you clearly.
if you can hear me. There we go. Okay, so it is in what is called the buffer zone. So we actually drove through an opening in the wall
Uh-huh.
to get here, but with permission.
Gotcha.
And we have been talking to Border Patrol, Texas Department of Public Safety. We have been talking to the National Guard and Eagle Pass Police Department. So,
Gotcha. That's Adam right there, right? Yeah.
yes.
Okay. The Border Patrol, people in the chat are asking where's the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol is actually further down. Those are the headlights you see, right?
Yes. Those are the Border Patrol.
Have you seen how many agents there are that are on scene there at this location?
It just depends. Earlier, when we had a group of probably, I would say 200 to 300. Uh-oh. That's not good. What are they saying?
They're telling to swim here, swim here, swim here, swim here, swim here. Asking them your names. He said, "What is your name? What is your name?"
Oh. At one point, when we had like I said, the large group of like 300 ish. Wouldn't y'all say that? I don't know if it was
probably about 200.
200. We had probably 6 buses that came, 6 vans that came to load them up, and they processed them right here. Like I said, you can see they cross the river and they're wet, and so they ditch the clothes that they have, and they get in the clothes that they brought.
There's a baby there.
Oh my gosh.
Tiny baby.
Yeah, that's under a year-old baby.
There were, how many Border Patrol? There was really just
6.
a few. Well, there were a couple Eagle Pass
PD.
Police Department.
Wow.
Now, a little bit further down from where we are, which is closer to the International Bridge, where they actually cross the legal crossing, there are quite a few other, like Operation Lone Star, that has been set up down there with the Texas National Guard, but they're not down here.
They're actually so.
Here.
Steve, I'm gonna come back over here to some better service real quick so you can hear me.
Okay.
Nice and easy. What I just heard through radio traffic from CBP is that there is actually a much larger group than what we've even seen here, and they're currently trying to make it onto the embankment of the river right here, right now.
Oh, so they're in the water still?
They're in the water. Yeah, a large. The voices that you hear, most of the background noise that you hear, is right here through these woods. About 10 feet down into there is the Rio Grande. I was actually going to take you down there right before we went live, but then we had another group that came up. I was going to take you down and show you some of, exactly where they're walking up the path. But there's several paths. I mean, and I know the video is not super clear here. We're using cell phones because all of our other camera equipment is in use right now. But you can see how easy it is. What they do is they just come in and knock down the brush down here. And like I said, it's a mere maybe 15 feet down through these woods and you're in the river.
My gosh.
So it
How many people would you say? How many people would you say are that you see there right now?
right now I'd say I've had my eyes on about 30 people.
And this
And
is this is the third group since you guys have been out there. You've been out there all day, but it's probably the third group.
This is the third or fourth group, or fit. It's hard to say, man, because they just keep coming. I hate to say it like that, but this is in the area that we're in. It really is nonstop. I mean, we thought that we were going to have a little bit of a break. We sat in the car for a few minutes, got our bearings, charged some batteries, and before we even knew it, there was more lights coming up the hill from the river. You can see right now, people are emerging right out of here. I'm going to take you down in here real quick.
All right, just stay safe, dude. I know they're good, but just make sure you can't go way in there. They're pulling people out in wheelchairs, so they just crossed the river in a wheelchair. My gosh.
Wheelchair.
And these people, when you asked them, they said they were from Venezuela, right? Venezuela?
Yeah, that's been the synonymous answer literally all night long. But if I had to guess, that's not the case with every single person coming over here.
Right.
But what happens is that they're seeking asylum so they can get immediately released. If
Right.
they say they're from Venezuela, that grants them that asylum. I'm going to take you right over here real fast.
Okay.
This is, we're going to go down another path here. And you can see, like I was telling you a minute ago, the clothing items that are just all over the ground.
It's
This
everywhere.
is where they ditch them. It's miles of it. So this right here, you see this. This is typically what they do is they mark an area with something like this. This is a teddy bear on a pole. This is a marked area. So you can pretty much assume there's going to be an entry point somewhere around here. This one right here. And I'm actually going to take you down here real quick.
Now this is in the bush. Yeah, the feed's
I'm
pretty.
walking down to the river.
Gotcha. Yeah, the feed
right here.
The feed is pretty rough, so be safe.
This the feed right here, that is the river.
That is the Rio Grande right there.
That is the Rio Grande River. If I stepped down on this earlier, it's very soft embankment. It just crumbles away.
Yeah. Don't go down there.
50 pounds of equipment on me. I'm not stepping back down there today.
Right. And so they're coming through. So you can't see the other side from there, right? Because it's nighttime. But during the day,
I can, and during the day you can. And actually, if I walk back over here and kind of stand up a little bit, you can see the lights and everything that's kind of going on. It's almost like a fiesta over there. I'm going to turn the camera light off over here so you can see those are buildings over there. All that light is across the river.
Oh, wow.
April's calling me back over here, which tells me there's something I need to see. But man, we're working on a really great special to show everybody exactly what is going on down here. We all watch it on the news. We all hear the stories. We all read the stories.
Right.
It doesn't encapsulate what's really going on. And the media, they've been lying to us the whole time about everything down here.
They took the wheelchair back down.
That's
so they just took the wheelchair back down to the river, which probably tells me that there's somebody else that needs that wheelchair.
So with all the previous groups, the Border Patrol is basically sitting them down. Then buses come in and pick them up, and then they drive out, or vans come up and pick them up, and then they leave.
Yeah. So earlier, what happened was we had about 5 vans that came up, picking as many people up.
Yeah, your connection's real rough, bud. It's real rough.
Enough. So actually, hang on 1 second, Steve.
There, now you're good.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna change something here. Let's see here.
We may
see if you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you. We have no picture, but I can. Now we kind of have picture. There it is. Gotcha. There. Now it's actually much better.
So while you did hear me, there was a massive group that was coming across. That just, I mean, you can see the number of people has increased
Is that
over here pretty greatly.
And those are kids too, right?
Yeah, there's children.
There's the
of every
wheelchair
age.
again.
You can see another wheelchair again.
So
We'll
right
share a
now,
little
this
bit.
is live. So wow, we've been live for maybe what, 15 minutes? Oh my gosh, dude. 15 minutes, and we've seen how many would you suspect there? 45, 50?
50 now. An easy 50.
Oh my
And
gosh.
if
And
I
you,
just had to judge based on the voices that I can hear down the embankment, there's probably at least another 20, and
Wow.
possibly more.
Yeah, because you said with the radio traffic that Border Patrol is reporting that there's quite a few more people down there, right?
Right. And they told us earlier tonight that we would see numerous groups and quite a few people. And if we sat out here for just a few more minutes, we would see another couple hundred.
My gosh. Yeah, because this is what, the third or fourth group that you guys have captured on film coming across earlier, right?
It was, and we had caught a group earlier. Border Patrol had taken out that first group, and when they had taken out that large 200 to 300 person group, we were left here by ourselves, and which we don't mind. I feel very safe here.
Right.
But it was, we sat in the car for maybe 10 minutes. It was really dark out here, pitch black. I saw people coming up out of the woods, so I came back out with the camera, and I have the light on the camera. They saw the light and the body armor and all put their hands up. And when they did that, it actually like made me tear up a little bit, you know, because they thought I was police. They thought I was here to come and round them all up. It was just a very touching moment.
That's where they're from. Are they all from Venezuela?
¿De dónde eres?
¿Yo?
Yeah, sí.
Venezuela,
Ven.
Táchira, San Cristóbal.
Gracias.
De nada, amigo.
Venezuela,
¿De dónde eres? Venezuela?
Honduras.
Hola. Gracias.
For everyone watching, this is live at the Rio Grande Valley right now. We have Adam, April, Lauren, and David down there. They've been down there. We kind of kept it a secret because we're working on a big project. So I'm guessing that they're walking to. Where are they walking to? And was it the Border Patrol's not with them?
So what they'll do is they'll actually, because of Border Patrol's limited resources that are actually right here. If you look right here, there's actually Border Patrols walking with them.
Oh, I see.
And,
okay. I saw it.
And the Border Patrol van will follow behind them and take them further up towards the entry point for further processing.
Got you. And they're processing
and kind
them.
Of what they've been doing.
And they're processing them there, right?
They're doing a lot of the legwork up front, gathering documents, trying to verify names and stuff like that. They're doing a lot of that legwork on the front end as they can. In talking with some of the CBP officers today, and hearing how limited they are in this area right now. And this area is just about an hour south of where we were this morning. I think I sent you some photos this morning of what was going on that we saw. And we're about an hour south of there. This area is nonstop busy. We're actually on private land. We're in between a buffer zone and a private ranch. We were able to get permission from the ranch owner to come on his property today and be out here. And one of the reasons that he gave me, that he said when he gave us permission, he said, well, I've got thousands of illegal immigrants coming on my property. Why would I care if you're there to film it? You know?
So who's responsible? All the garbage that's left on the ground, is that landowner's responsibility to pick that up, or is the government going in and picking it up?
From what I can understand, Army National Guard has been trying to come in when they can. But like I said, resources are limited. So this road, this dirt road, miles long, all of the clothes that you see in front of you, these are all fresh within the last 48 hours.
Wow.
We could go down the road, the dirt
think we may have lost him. Sounds like I think that may have been it for his live. Adam, if you can hear me, you guys be safe down there. And I think we just lost his feed completely. So you be safe down there, Adam. And if you could still hear me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, or I'll talk to you after. Actually, you're back. Hold on, real quick. You there, bud?
I'm here. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, yeah, we lost you just for a little second. I'm just waiting on our next show or our next segment. Hold on. Producing this, man, this is insane.
See how quickly, so this is cleared out now, Steve. Like,
yeah,
there's nobody out here, and in fact, since I have you here right now, and everybody's live watching this, I'm gonna try and do this without losing connection. I hope I can, because I want you to just see exactly where they're coming at.
All right, yeah, we lost you again, bud.
To see how.
Yeah, the audio is still there, but
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You can see all the belongings down here. Just personal belongings everywhere.
Gotcha.
Completely ditched.
Well, Adam, you guys be safe down there. I have our next guest is already queued up. We're going to be talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse. We have BXBullet from Twitch. That's going to be coming on here in a second. Be safe down there, Adam. And thank you guys for being down there. We'll follow up with you. I'll call you after the show, and we'll go from there. Be safe, bud.
Thanks, man.
All right. And now we have BXBullet. She's live on the air. I got to switch the title because I got to do everything manually. How you doing? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. All right, she's going to fix her audio. She'll be on in just a second.
Now.
Yep, we got you. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. So just because people probably don't know who you are, I'm switching the stream right now. You're BXBullet TV. You have a Twitch channel, YouTube channel, and you are a gun. You describe it. What do you do?
Yeah. BXBullet TV. I stream a lot on Twitch every night at 8:30 Central Time. Right about this time Central, and then I also have a YouTube channel, BXBullet TV. Twitter, where I sometimes meme and troll people, the usual.
Nice.
Yeah, so we do mostly gun content here on my channel. Guns and self-defense is kind of our wheelhouse, although we occasionally will talk about politics or, current events or whatever else comes to mind. It's pretty casual. So I personally have been a self-defense and handgun trainer for about 12 years. I currently have an LTC class in Texas. That's a license to carry. So that's basically the concealed handgun class that we do for the state of Texas, which is just all use of force, all lawful carry. The combatives group that I work with, we also do gunfighting. We do all kinds of more advanced training. And like you said earlier, I am a level 4 personal protection officer in the state of Texas, which is a bodyguard. And I'm a former pro level competitive shooter. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's about me.
So you could probably outshoot the majority of our viewers right now, including myself.
Probably. But I mean, that's just the result of me shooting professional 3-gun for so long.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring you on just because I watched quite a few hours of your program since we started talking the other day, and you were covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I was covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I've
been glued to my chair for like.
I know. I feel like the chair has become part of me.
I know.
To be honest,
I need a better one.
So what's your take for our viewers who haven't caught up on your show, and what's your take on this whole Rittenhouse mess? Because I don't know another way to describe it.
Oh, it's a huge mess. And I knew it would be immediately, right? As soon as all of this happened, right? As soon as it happened, saw it happening on Twitter, saw it breaking on the news, immediately got all the footage we could find. And I sat down with my co-instructor, my LTC instructor, and he's actually the guy who taught me everything I know. This guy's like a real life John Wick. He's like, so me and him, we sat down and we framed it immediately.
Right.
And both of us were just like open and shut. as we know it, by the book, as we know it, per Texas law, straight self-defense, no question in either of our minds, right? But by that time on Twitter, we already had the blue check marks, making up these narratives. So the first thing you see on Twitter is active shooter. He shot 3 unarmed people. The police just let him walk. He's friends with the police, and all these things that we know now to be completely false, right? Like we know that at least 2 of them were armed with deadly weapons, one of them with a handgun. But already after just a couple hours of that narrative being spun, it had been retweeted hundreds of thousands of times. So we can see really quickly how this misinformation gets into people's heads. And even now, after having watched the trial, with any sensible person watching the trial should have reasonable doubt, at least, even if you were completely on the side of, the left narrative when all of this started out. After watching the trial, you should have some significant doubt, right?
A lot of people have. If you're a social media guy, apparently gal too. In your case, I spend a lot of time on social media. I spend a lot of time on Twitter. I feel like it's one of the best resources for crazy news stories and things. And I'm pretty surprised if you pay attention to, ever since Kyle took the stand, some of the blue check marks on the Dem side or the left have kind of, they've come around basically after watching the trial, but we just have a big problem where the rest of America is stupid and doesn't want to actually, pay attention to what's going on.
Well, it's just that they, for one, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, but for one thing, yes, they're guided by that narrative that they've seen on Twitter. They're guided by the media's disingenuous headlines. They're guided by the fact that they lack a huge wealth of knowledge about self-defense. They lack understanding of the laws, and then they lack fundamental understanding of what happened with this case, right? So on Twitch, for example, I'll be talking about this, and there'll still be people coming in and just yelling, he was an active shooter. He crossed state lines with an illegal firearm, and saying all these things that we know aren't even true. We've already thrown that out. We already know that's false, but they'll come in and they'll just keep repeating that stuff because that's what's ingrained in their head. And unfortunately, most people aren't capable of, fact checking themselves or, going past what the headlines say and actually looking into what happened and figuring out why people are so divided on it, So hopefully we can help educate people, about this. And as law abiding, aside from just, what certain people on certain sides of the political spectrum are, labeling all of this as law-abiding gun owners and as people who carry guns for self-defense, that this should concern everybody, right? This is a really, really important case at establishing, something that me and my colleagues and those of us who are really well-versed in fundamental self-defense, that's what we do for a living, we're professionals, we're looking at this and saying, how is this even a question, right? So the fact that the court could interpret this differently or the jury could interpret this differently plays a huge role in our understanding of self-defense laws, and it's a dangerous precedent to set, unfortunately, if it is convicted.
No, that's what I was saying, almost verbatim, because it's scary when you actually think about what they're doing, and especially when there's I believe a New York gun case that's coming up in the Supreme Court, either this month or next month as well, which, I heard MSNBC hosts and everybody were kind of comparing and combining the two and saying, if depending on how they go, it could drastically impact our gun rights. Fundamentally, this can literally change. It's just like I've said, this sets a precedent where if someone is trying to kill you and saying they're going to kill you and you defend yourself, there's a good chance, depending on how this, the verdict comes out, it could, it's dangerous.
I can't tell you how many times doing, because I've done a lot of high level gunfighting type of training where, we've been, use airsoft and simunitions and real fully resistant opponents shooting back at you and, things like that. And I've been in a lot of these supposedly clear-cut situations where I would think that they were pretty clear-cut, right? Then now it's kind of now I have to worry this guy's grabbing for my gun after yelling at me that he's going to kill me all night. And now I have to wait for him to actually put hands on my gun or hit me over the head with a brick before I'm justified, in self-defense.
Well, even
Or
then,
with
that doesn't apparently matter because
Right,
Rosenbaum's
like-
hand was on the gun.
Exactly. Or when you have what should be even a more cut case of self-defense, which is Gage Grosskreutz lunging at him with the gun in his hand, pointed
Right.
at him in a manner which he could have shot him, right? What's he supposed to do? Wait till he gets a shot off? Like, he clearly won that encounter. That was a gunfight. You witnessed a gunfight between two individuals right there.
Right.
The good thing is that one of them was able to end that gunfight, and thankfully nobody was killed, but it could have ended a lot differently had he waited another half a second.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people really lack understanding of a true self-defense situation. Because one thing that we've been seeing with the prosecution is that I've been harping on this for like a week, right? Everything you do nowadays is on video. Everything, right? They've got thousands of angles of this shooting, hundreds of videos, and they're breaking it down for 30 frames per second, 30 frames in a second, 1/30th of a second. And they're looking at that and asking Kyle, well, why didn't you make a different decision in this 1/30th of a second? And that's just absurd when you know anything about self-defense. When you had the self-defense expert come on, was the most powerful part for me was when Dr. Black came on and was talking about the blink of an eye.
Right.
And the significance of the blink of an eye and how these cameras are showing you things that are beyond what a person can even comprehend.
Right.
Right. And then they're trying to say, why did you take this half step this direction?
Right.
Anyone who knows anything about self-defense has done any kind of training knows that's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I thought that was a powerful testimony as well. I was kind of surprised that the prosecution didn't bring on their probably because they couldn't find a self-defense expert that would have said what they wanted to say, because it's a pretty open and shut case of self-defense, at least to anyone who actually watches the videos.
Right.
I mean, we watched it live that night. I was live streaming. We had thousands of people watching. We watched it all unfold live. We replayed all the videos. We saw everything. We saw Gage Grosskreutz with his arm, and we saw them tendering aid to him. And to imagine that it's going to this level and just, I mean, my personal belief is I don't think that we're going to have a guilty verdict, but that's also scary too because of what's going to end up happening. There's no doubt that left media is already, let's just say media. Let's not even say left media at this point, because the media is all, they're all playing this. Even I was talking about it before you guys came, or you came on in my last segment. I was watching my local news today, and they were talking about how Kenosha is bracing for unrest even before the verdict. So, and I live, 1,000 miles away from this place, and it's, if it's making our local news here, you gotta feel that it's no matter what, it's just going to be bad. That's what I just keep saying, and it's frightening, I guess, when you think about it, but.
It's frightening, the implications on, you and I, or, anybody out there watching who carries a gun on a daily basis, to think that now, in addition to worrying about that split-second decision that could be, you're in fear for your life and you have to use your gun, now you're having to worry about being on the center stage of America and having the entire country judge you, in addition to the jury and, which really should be all that matters. But in this case, it's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So
I advocate for insurance, advocate for carry insurance. You know what I mean? Because this can happen to anybody. Like,
the whole thing, it's just frightening. I mean, and frightening is not even, it's just when you look at the big picture. I know you're from Texas, so you got your own battle going on. We just did a whole segment on what's going on in the Rio Grande Valley down there.
I saw that. That was crazy, man.
Yeah, we actually have a crew that's down there now that went live for us. And and you and I have never talked before. What do you think about our country right now? I mean, what do you think? Just the big picture. This is kind of off topic about everything. What do you think about the state of our country?
Oh, it's a complete dumpster fire. I think that's the only thing that I agreed with the prosecution about, was like the first day he described the dumpster fire as a metaphor for America. And I think that's the only thing that I agreed with the assistant, with Binger, and this entire thing about, was that it's a dumpster fire. We're divided more than ever before. We're fed more misinformation, more lies to keep us divided. They don't want us to be getting along. I don't think that that's anything that any of them want right now. I really do I really have, I'm trying not to lose hope, as a mother of a small child. Like, I'm trying to maintain hope for at least her generation,
Right.
I think we have an obligation right now to the younger generation to raise them right. And actually, we have a chance to turn it around, but I think it's going to take at least a generation.
That's one of the things I say is I want the America that I envision to be the America we leave to my kids, and every single day it just seems like it's falling apart. Every single day it's like we're one step in the wrong direction. It's very frustrating. Well, I thank you for coming on the show today. Hopefully we'll have you on the show more, and maybe we'll talk. But I would like to,
man. Thanks for having me on.
Have more people. Anyone that wants to follow, you can follow her on YouTube. She's trying to build her YouTube, so I've actually put a ton of your links in the chat as we've been talking.
Thank you.
That's why I've been looking over here the whole time. I've just been spamming it in.
I'm new to YouTube. I did post a video today with my breakdown of the Rittenhouse thing. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
It's there if you want more information on what you can expect to go through if you are ever in this situation. Like, as a gun owner, the kinds of things that we saw the prosecution doing, the arguments we saw them making, were really important. They have important bearings. So, definitely. I hope to start live streaming on YouTube at some point in the future. But yeah, for now.
Well, very cool. We've been cheering you out, and I'd love to have you on. As if pretty much you may be in the Rolodex now. If we have a gun story that we're talking about, I may call you and be like, hey, we need to.
I'm sure I'll be covering.
We need an expert. But all right, thanks so much for coming. We'll see you soon.
Hey, I appreciate it. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye. All right, everybody. So we've got, what time is it? 13 minutes. I don't even need to do a full show. But yeah, it's been a long week. Really, when you think about it, when you think about this whole week and how everything has happened, it's just been a terribly long week. We've covered the trial. The trial took a lot out of me just on an individual level. And I don't know. It's frustrating. Just to see everything that goes on. Someone said, good interview, Steve. Subbed her other channel. Yeah, she's added over 100 subs so far since I was keeping track. So let's keep it going. And we'll go from there. But anyway. Someone said emotional level for me. I'm so worried about the kid. I know when he was testifying, that's what got me. Granted, I always thought the kid was innocent because we watched it live. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you actually watch the events, he's innocent, and especially with all the other information that came out about the Rittenhouse trial. And rather than just get into it again, there's a video that I made last night. It's on YouTube. I'll actually probably play it after this show for anyone on Rumble and Citizen Stringer that hasn't been catching up. It's full of profanity because I was super pissed off yesterday when I made the show, but I think it's important. So if you can get past the cursing, listen to the fundamental points that I make in that episode, which I'll play again immediately after this on Rumble, if we're even live on Rumble. I don't know. Rumble seemed to have crashed while we were doing the show, and then it's live and it's got viewers, but we lost all of our viewers, and then it's back again, and now it's back again. So I don't know what's going on, but it keeps logging me out. So I have no idea what's going on with Rumble. But we're live on Citizen Stringer as well, as we have. So probably what I'm going to do tomorrow night, because I'm not going to be live streaming tomorrow, I have to drive to Richmond to pick up the concession trailer. So also, guys, you got about an hour. If you want to order a December Patriot box, you have about an hour before I shut those out, because I got to place an order for all the shirts and everything tomorrow, so I don't overbuy or underbuy anything, so I know exactly how many boxes I need. So you have a little bit. So you can go to puretruthclothing.com, look up December Patriot box, and you'll find it. They ship out December 1st. And like I said, I'm going to close that out. So if you don't get your order in within the next hour, you will not be getting a box. All the November boxes are actually going to go out probably. I'm going to be in here all day Sunday finishing the boxes, so they'll go out in the post office on Monday. Dean said you were in Kenosha today, and it was an eerie feeling I got while you were down there. I heard that from other people too. There was a couple other people that messaged me and said they went down there. Someone said it's frustrating that 70% of people feel that he's guilty. I don't even know if I believe that number, to be honest, about 70% of people believing he's guilty. I don't know if I believe that, because, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just hope not. I hope that's not true. I mean, that's the only thing I could say. I hope it's not true. And you know what? I'm not even going to play that episode. I'll play that after. I think I'm just going to play the One-Eyed Jack movie again. It's an old Western. I just like it. It's a good one. Tomorrow night, I'm going to have a new show, not a new show, but a new movie that'll play tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Citizen Stringer and on our 24-hour Rumble channel. I will not be live at all tomorrow. I will be live probably on Sunday. I'll just do a show because next week is going to be a disaster, likely. So I'll be working all day Sunday. I may pop in and do like a quick half an hour about the weekend news stories and stuff. You'll see because it'll be on social media. And then Monday, we're going to start our coverage of the trial. They're going to do closing arguments starting around 9 o'clock on Monday morning. The jury is going to go into deliberations when first what I believe they do is they read the charges and the charge sheets and all that stuff. And then we may have new evidence or new things that come out this week, and the judge may throw everything out and declare a mistrial. Who actually knows? I doubt that's going to happen, but who actually knows? He said, you will be surprised by some of the things I'm doing, I guess, is one of the things he said today, which has kind of caught the ear of a lot of people. But Sunday, I'll be live for a little bit. Monday morning, 10 o'clock, we're going to start the coverage. I've already, kind of prepped my wife because I think with the verdict, there's going to be, it's going to be a crap show. So we will be covering all the riots and all the protests. If they happen, we will cover them. Even though I don't like doing it, even though I don't want to do it anymore, we will cover them because nobody else is. We've already made some connections of some journalists on the ground. Actually, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, no. The Scheller interview that we did, we kind of messed up everything. We're going to have it's going to be an audio interview with the Scheller family. Lieutenant Colonel Stu Scheller, he's the Marine battalion commander that was relieved of duty after criticizing the leadership, the military leadership for the withdrawal of Afghanistan. We actually sat down on Tuesday with his parents in North Carolina in a brewery and had a pretty good conversation with them. But something happened to our video, so we have the audio. So I'll try to put that together, and we'll either air that on Sunday night or we'll air it on Monday at some point. And it will just be the audio that you guys will be listening to. And yes, people got in trouble because I was pretty pissed off about that. But at least we have the audio version of it, so I'll also put it out as a podcast to try to fix that. We'll also have some more footage. I don't know if Adam wants to come back on. I see him in the chat. Maybe he's just trying to watch the end of the show. I'm not sure. But I don't see him in the chat. I actually see him messing around on the feed because I have a direct feed with him. I'll talk to him after I end this show. But guys, I appreciate everyone for being here. I really do. I appreciate you guys all. That's why I stay late. I'm tired as hell. I got up early this morning. I did go back to the gym today, even though my back is still sore because I was feeling very frustrated and angry earlier today. I'm gonna get you, bro. But he's doing hand gestures, the middle finger, and it's distracting. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Not tomorrow. I'll play a movie. I may just come live real quick and just be like, okay, I'm playing a movie. But there will be a new movie that's never been seen on this network. 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, citizenstringer.com. I'll probably pop in around 6 o'clock on Sunday. Just give a quick news update for the week. Tuesday morning is when Capacity Today is going to have its first show. It's going to be all about the trucking and supply chain and logistics industry. We'll talk about that on Monday as well, and we'll go from there. I'm going to end this show because I'm tired of talking. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you when we see you. Bye.
You've been listening to
Adam, hang out. I'll be with you in a second.
Oatley, unapologetically American and unapologetically honest. Join us each night at 8 p.m. for more daily headlines, politics, and social issues, covering the headlines that mainstream media ignores. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show. See more on the website at citizenstringer.com. And we'll see you tomorrow on Wake Up America.